What's up, family? Hey, I've taken a few days off. If you follow my channel for any length of period of time, from time to time, I take 3 to 4 days off. It's my way of unplugging from the matrix, from all social media. That being said, I want to get back on here and I want to have a real heart to heart with you guys. Stay with me, we're going to go somewhere in this, okay? A few weeks ago, I was at a young lady's house and talking to her and her oldest son. And she was telling her oldest son how her husband, her ex-husband, um, how he would get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go work out, come back home, get ready for work, went to work, came home, um, after he got off from work, took care of the kids. Kids were in junior high school and elementary. He would take care of them, make sure they did their homework, make sure that they read, because they had to read like an hour a day. Cook dinner, make sure that all the clothes were cleaned. He just took care of everything in the household. And by the time she came home, he would have a plate for her in the microwave. All she had to do was grab her plate and go take a bath. And that was her way of unwinding, sitting in the bathtub. And Saturday mornings, he would get the kids up early in the morning and he would take off with them. They would go to the beach, go to the mountains, go hiking, go to the river, just anywhere. And that was her way of being able to sleep in. I had to deal with the kids. Stay with me, we're going somewhere. This man would take care of her clothes. She was a registered nurse. He would make sure that her uniforms were cleaned and ironed, ready for her next shift. And so this young man was like in his early 20s. He's like, man, dang, my dad did all that? And she was like, yeah, but I wasn't looking for a wife. And I looked at her and I just shook my head. I said, that's so disrespectful. And she was like, why you say that? She was like, I wasn't looking for no wife. I said, maybe your husband's perspective is that he knew that those things needed to get done. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. He knew that those things needed to get done. He was secure in his manhood, and he knew that those things needed to get done. You weren't there to do them, and yet they needed to get done. The kids needed to make sure that they had their homework done. They needed to read. Dinner had to be cooked, The kids had to be bathed, and he had to make sure that they took their showers. He had to make sure that he had clothes to wear to work, and why not make sure that you had clothes to wear? You know what I mean? It's like, how's that, why would you consider that a wife's duty? Stay with me. And she just looked at me, and she looked at her son. She's like, I wasn't looking for a wife. I said, did he not do all the yard work? And she's like, yeah, he did all that. He did everything. I said, okay. I said, so your husband, you're acknowledging to your oldest son that your husband did everything. Sex wasn't an issue. Passion wasn't an issue. He made sure that all the needs of the house was met, as far as taking care of the kids, as far as cooking, cleaning, because no one else was there capable of doing it. And you're putting this man down, saying that you wasn't looking for a wife. When this man's mentality may have been, I'm in this partnership. This is what needs to be done. He's not tripping off who does it. It needs to be done. You know what I mean? The kids need to eat. The kids need to do their homework. The kids need to take showers. The kids need to have clean clothes to wear. How is that a husband or a wife's responsibility? It is a responsibility. It's us in our ignorance that put labels on stuff and say, well, this is a man's job. This is a woman's job. And I was telling her, I said, well, wait a minute. Wasn't he not doing the yard work? She was like, yeah, he did all of that. I said, okay. So this man took care of himself by getting up early in the morning, going to work out, and then took care of everything else. Went to work, had a full-time job, came home, took care of the house. And you left him because you wasn't looking for a wife. Stay with me. Family, we have to grow up. This lady is single, has been single for the longest. She left her husband when this young man was 4 years old. This young man's 21 years old now. She's never been remarried, um, never in any real serious relationships since then. She's overweight, stressed out, seriously stressed out, has depression issues. Um, and she says it's because she has to do everything for her kids. Family, women, we've got to grow the hell up. And we've got to stop blaming everybody else for what we did wrong. You could tell by the title, Revisionist History. You could change history, you could change the narrative, you could change everything you want. You can lie, you can manipulate everything you want. But you can't change the truth. You cannot change the truth. And the truth is going to come out sooner or later. You can convince people and brainwash your kids and your family members and his family members and everybody else. This is not just towards women. Guys do this too. When they get hurt or things don't go the way they want because they can't control the situation anymore, now they want to control the narrative. And what I mean by that is, oh, I can't control you, so now I'm going to control what everybody thinks about you. And I'm going to tear you down to everybody around you to make sure that everybody think you ain't crap. And that's what a lot of you women do. This is what a lot of you dudes do also. The facts are going to come out sooner or later. The truth is going to come out. You could hide, you could fake the funk all you want to. It's going to come out. You know what I mean? It is what it is. The sad reality is, look at how many people's lives you have negatively affected by your manipulation, your lying tactics. Because you wasn't woman enough, because you wasn't man enough to deal with the situation in a responsible manner. Now you want to demonize this other person and destroy this other person's character to those around him, to his children, to her children, to his or her family members, friends. And although that does cause a problem, again, it is what it is. The truth is going to come out. You know what I mean? It may be 15 years down the road. It may be 20 years down the road. It may be on your deathbed. But the truth will always be the truth. You can't change the truth to fit your narrative. You can't change the truth because of your insecurities and because of your issues. We have to grow up. And you can't talk about I'm all into growth and development, I'm all into spiritual work, I'm all into church, and still spreading the same lies and tactics to manipulate and control people. You're going to have to answer for everything that you've done. There's no getting around it. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. You're going to have to answer for everything that you've done. And the truth is, the great majority of us don't want to answer for it. The great majority of us don't want anybody to know how trifling we was, how petty and messy we was, and how we made such stupid decisions and choices. And so we want to control the narrative to make everybody else look at us as the victim, to make everybody else look as, oh man, you so strong, girl. You taking care of your kids, and man, they daddy ain't in their life. They daddy ain't shit. They daddy suck with do. And that's the narrative. Because that's the narrative that you put out there. It's not the truth, but it's your narrative. Family, we're going to have to own up to everything we've done. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you've been. I don't care how many degrees you have. I don't care what your title is. You're going to have to own up to everything you've done. And every time you relied on somebody, manipulated the truth, changed your perspective, your narrative, so that it doesn't make you look so bad. So it doesn't make you look bad in any way, shape, or form. You're going to have to answer for that. My hope and prayer is that you're man enough, that you're woman enough to own up to that and to face that head on. Because sooner or later, you're going to have to answer for it. Sooner or later, that bill's coming due. And you're going to have to explain to all those people, to your children, to your family, how you were the one that messed up. How you were the one that was in the wrong. And that scares so many of us, is that people would see us in a negative way. Because we've lived a lie. We've spewed the lie for so long that we're convinced that it's the truth. We know it ain't the truth, but we convince ourselves that it's good, that we're good, that all the things we said about everybody else was justifiable. When in our heart, when in our soul, we know we were wrong. We were dead wrong. And we did it anyways. Because we would rather tell a lie and make the other person look like crap than look in the mirror and see and recognize that we were the one in the wrong. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.